In this edition of the Parliament Report, opposition spokesman says government is presiding over bang belly economy. Government says cheaper electricity on the cards, and concerns raised about inadequate airlift for the island. The government is now focusing on 4 companies to advance its 360 megawatt project to generate cheaper electricity. 3 of the companies who are involved in the project are Amorview Tank Weld, the Jamaica Public Service, and Azurest Cambridge. Energy Minister Philip Paulwell, who made the announcement during his contribution to the budget debate on April 24, said a 4th company emerged in the form of an unsolicited proposal from a Hong Kong-based firm which owns liquefied natural gas resources. Paulwell says the government is likely to receive further recommendations after carrying out negotiations with the 4 companies. The Energy Minister said Amorview Tank Weld presented a 232 megawatt project for Old Harbour and a 122.4 megawatt project for Caymanas, both located in St. Catherine. At the same time, the JPS submitted proposals for 323 megawatt and 350 megawatt combined cable plants for Old Harbour. And Azurest Cambridge presented a proposal for a 388 megawatt plant mounted on a barge. The minister told the House that all 3 proposed the use of natural gas. Paulwell says steps are being made to kickstart the project in the current financial year. Opposition spokesman on tourism Edmund Bartlett has said Jamaica's enormous strength in airlift security is being threatened and requires swift action by the government to reverse any negative impact on the sector. In his contribution to the budget debate on April 24, Bartlett urged Jamaica's tourism minister, Dr. Wickham McNeil, to engage his Trinidadian counterpart to work out a suitable agreement to shore up the country's air security. His concerns come against the background of the reduction of arrivals out of Caribbean markets into Jamaica. He has also pointed to a decline in the activities of Caribbean Airline Limited, CAL, out of the United States. The opposition spokesman on tourism argues that CAL is a significant part of Jamaica's and the Caribbean's airlift security. In that regard, Bartlett said he's concerned about recent announcements that there is significant reduction in flights from North America and the Caribbean. Bartlett, a former tourism minister, said in 2012, CAL accounted for nearly 50% of arrivals at the Norman Manley International Airport, the NMIA, and 10% of arrivals at the Sangster International Airport in Montego Bay. He noted that the reduction in CAL flights to Jamaica would result in unemployment locally, significant loss of income at NMIA, and inconvenience to the diaspora and informal commercial importers. Opposition spokesman on finance Audley Shaw says the Portia Simpson Miller administration is presiding over a bang belly economy that would not generate growth. The term bang belly was used by former Prime Minister Michael Manley in his capacity as opposition leader in the early 1980s to describe the economy under Edward Seaga, who is also a former Prime Minister. A strident Shaw drew on the popular Jamaican phrase which describes a state of malnutrition to argue that the government was relying on ill-conceived revenue windows, which he says are hostile to investment and growth. Making his contribution to the budget debate in Gordon House on April 23, Shaw warned the government that it was on a perilous path to achieve its target of a primary surplus of 7.5% and a balanced budget. He accused the Finance Minister, Dr. Peter Phillips, of severely contracting expenditure and imposing high taxation instead of seeking to create the environment for large-scale investment that generates growth and revenue. According to the opposition spokesman, this move creates compression in the economy. Shaw suggested that in the short term, the government could end up balancing the books, but this would be devoid of growth and job creation wealth expansion. Meanwhile, Finance Minister Dr. Peter Phillips, in opening the budget debate on April 18, said the government had crafted a budget for the 2013-2014 financial year without burdening Jamaicans with new taxes. Phillips said that the 2 tax packages unleashed on the people of Jamaica in the last fiscal year were sufficient to finance the reduced budget of $520.88 billion. The tax packages appeared to have paved the way for what had been an elusive deal with the International Monetary Fund. Significant mergers are on the cards this financial year for a number of government departments and agencies. With the objective of enabling greater cost efficiency, the government plans to merge the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission with the Jamaica Racing Commission. At the same time, the University Council of Jamaica and the Council of Community Colleges are to merge to form the Jamaica Tertiary Commission. As part of the public sector transformation, the government has decided to merge Fiscal Services Limited with a Central Information Technology Office and create a new technical office to drive e-government. Finance and Planning Minister Dr. Peter Phillips, who made the disclosures, said the administration is also moving to complete and expand the phased implementation of the Export Fast Track Facility and electronic filing and payment systems. He said these activities should make doing business with the government more efficient. And finally, in the Parliament report, the Portia Simpson Miller administration is expected to ink an agreement with the International Monetary Fund by early May. In a Gleaner interview following his opening presentation to the budget debate, Finance and Planning Minister Dr. Peter Phillips said he's expecting to sign the IMF agreement for an extended fund facility by the time he closes the budget debate. Dr. Phillips will be closing the budget debate on May 1. Earlier this month, the IMF signaled that prior actions by the Jamaican government had been met, paving the way for the signing of an agreement. This has been another edition of the Parliament Report. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm Edmund Campbell saying, walk good.